Hey everyone, I'm Kevin. Welcome back to KDX Bricks Analytics, where we talk everything Lego investing and reselling. And I have part 2 from the previous video. More mentions, more enthusiasm score of great Lego sets, some of them that could be great investments. And of course, at the end, I will give you my top 3 from this video. Before we get into the rest of my table here, I've got 2 other topics I want to touch on real quick. First is we just got official images of the Minifigure vending machine, this idea set that we've known about for a long time. Super cool set. I really want this for personal collection. Too early to tell if it's a good investment, but I think it's awesome. I wonder if we could put large gumballs, the real gumballs in this and have it still work. The 16 minifigures included overall are great. There are duplicates in there, but I'm okay with that. And then look at the mechanism here. It looks so satisfying. Looks like it works so well. Oh, wow, I love it. And then second topic, I hope most of you did not get wrapped up and therefore super frustrated in this BrickLink Series 1, Series 2 re-release. I was aware of it and I glanced at it just out of curiosity, but I was not going to pick any up. It just sounded too good to be true in one sense. My immediate gut reaction was this was not going to work out for Lego, and apparently that was true. These sets sold out super quick. Many of them got canceled and it was hard to get on there and pick them up. And on top of that, for investors and collectors, which is a lot of Lego people, it's frustrating to buy an exclusive set to then have it come out again. Now, I realize these weren't full-blown reprints. They were just leftover extra sets, which meant they were going to go fast and there were going to be all kinds of glitches. I'm surprised Lego did it this way. I feel like they were putting themselves in a lose-lose situation. They irritated all the customers that got them in the first wave, and we're really proud of that. And then they irritated a bunch of customers that thought they were going to have a second chance at it, and it didn't work out. Now on to part 2 of our cumulative table. Calendar year to date, I've watched 174 videos across 13 channels with almost 1,700 Lego set mentions, all about Lego investing and reselling. I collect all this data based on what the presenters are saying about each set. Watch the beginning of my previous video to get all the details on how this table works. But the first set we need to continue on with is the Speed Champions Mercedes 2-pack. It got 3 more mentions in the last couple of months, up to 5 with a solid 2.6 enthusiasm score. But unfortunately, this set just fell off of the retirement list. That's why it's highlighted the light yellow and no longer has the R in parentheses in front of the set number and name. So I'm sure it won't be getting many more mentions the rest of this year. It's a great set, especially the wagon, but time to ignore it until next calendar year. Also with 5 mentions total, 2 more in the last couple of months, a 2.4 enthusiasm score is the small London bus. It is a Lego exclusive. Only a $10 set, so I'm surprised it has such a high enthusiasm score. I won't be investing in it other than the 10 that I already own because I needed to buy 10 of the same set in order to get ungated on Amazon many months ago to then get regated a couple of months later, like I've told you about before. So I am the proud owner of 10 of these at full price, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. Maybe I'll build a 20-decker bus and put the night bus to shame. I did not do that on purpose, but great segue to our first Harry Potter set, the Hogwarts Icons Collector's Edition. Really good set overall, spendy at $300, but a solid 4.3 on brick set. 1 mention in the last couple of months, up to 5, but it dropped 3/10 of the enthusiasm score down to a 2.0. Although my kids and I want this for personal collection, it has had a long shelf life out since September of 2021. And if we look at the other 4 sets in the Harry Potter Collection Edition, I don't think anything is too inspiring in here. The relatively new Burrow retailed at $260 because of the GWP that was coming with it. I forget what it was actually, but I remember the time I liked it. I was thinking I might get this day one, and then I saw it built in the store and I was like, whoa, it's pretty small for the price. Gringotts Wizarding Bank at $430. It looks like a pretty awesome set, but I've said this all along, I don't like the bank stacked on top of the underground vault. I wish the bank would sit at grade like all of the other Harry Potter buildings. That way you could add them all together there, make the scene a little better overall. And then I wish that the underground vault was like a shadow box, maybe off to the side. The Hogwarts Express at $500. It's showing a value of $465 on brick set. Yes, losing money against retail, but not bad compared to the very heavy discounts that we were able to get this set at. So there is some life with this one. I think it's by far the best of the 4. And then the Hogwarts Icons that we're looking at on the table is the cheapest, but based on the other 3, I don't see the collectability or the buzz and drive helping each other out. So overall, I am going to pass on this set, unless of course, like all sets, if the discount is right, then I would want to pick it up. Now on to the Fortnite Supply Llama, 3 more mentions, up to 5. It jumped 0.3 to a 1.8 enthusiasm score. No minifigures, highlighted yellow. It was on the retirement list. It isn't anymore. I still am interested in investing in the Fortnite theme as a whole. I do think the demand is there. Durr Burger is a small set, not that inspiring. The Supply Llama is okay, but my kids said to pass on that one. Peely Bone at $100 is awesome. We like this one. And then the Battle Bus, of course, is fantastic. This is the only set in the first wave that comes with minifigures and an awesome variety. And we've seen this set when it goes out of stock right before the holidays go for a huge premium. So it makes sense that this one got delayed on retirement long ago. And then we just got the new wave announced, and some of these look pretty good, especially this Mech Team Leader. This one reminds all of us of a previous winning set in the Ideas line. If we look at some of these on Camel 3X, we see that the Supply Llama does not have any third-party sellers yet, and it has not had many discounts. Peely Bone has had some third-party sellers, but they are below retail, so that is a little concerning. Still no discounts at retail price, though, on the first-party sellers at Amazon. And then Battle Bus, because of all those minifigures, no discounts. What an awesome $100 set. And then when it goes out of stock, even well after the holidays, it is jumping up a fair amount. You guys know I like to do the Google Trends analysis every now and then, so check this out. Over the past 5 years, the blue line is Fortnite, and then the dark red line is Star Wars. But with all that said, there is still hesitation in investing in Fortnite, and I think it is warranted because we just don't have any comparables. And so for me, I think it's high risk, high reward. I do want to get some because maybe these will be like the first Harry Potter sets or the first Star Wars sets. We just don't know how big Fortnite's going to get, or maybe Fortnite just fizzles out in the next few years. So definitely a gamble, but I am interested in some of them, especially the ones with the minifigures. The Ideas Red London telephone box is up next. 5 mentions with a 1.6 enthusiasm score. It's not my favorite. Of course, I don't live in England, and so they're not part of my everyday life, but I do hear chatter every now and then that the build is fantastic. It looks amazing, and that because it's an idea set, there is a chance for it. However, if we look on Amazon here in the United States, only 300 bought in the last month, even went on a small discount. And if we go to Camel 3X, actually, I didn't realize this. It's gone out of stock and it is bumping up. So this is a pretty good sign. That does make me want to keep an eye on this set a little bit more. So maybe this one is flying under the radar. Now, recently, third-party sales are just below retail, but it makes sense it hasn't gone out of stock on Amazon recently. Set 75373 Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. This set has 2 major strikes against it. One, it's Mandalorian, and 2, it is not a great army building battle pack. 2 more mentions, drop 4/10 to a 1.6 E score. Makes sense to me. I'm passing. The Ahsoka Clone Trooper battle pack that retired at the end of last year with 4 minifigures that are decent for army building and a good swamp speeder is only showing $16 at Brickset. So I feel like at this point, other than your traditional, more classic Stormtrooper and more common Clone Trooper battle packs, most of these are not going to perform well, or they're going to be a really long hold time. And yeah, again, I'm going to be passing on the Mandalorian one. The Crimson Firehawk, 2 more mentions, down to a 1.4 enthusiasm score. It's the 4+ set. Yes, some of the minifigures are kind of cool, and one of them here, Nubs, is decently valuable, but $50 is way too much for 136 pieces, so easy pass for me. Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridia, wow, down 6/10 to a 1.4 enthusiasm score. It did get 4 more mentions up to 5, but those 4 mentions were bad. $55 set for 382 pieces, 5 exclusive minifigures, a low 3.8 on Brickset. The minifigures are pretty good, but I think their value is trickling down as this set gets out there more and more. But the Ahsoka is valued at 7.5, Ezra at 6.5, Grand Admiral Thrawn with the awesome medium blue face headpiece, great expression there at $15, Morgan Elsbeth at $5 in that witch possessed face. I would have thought that one would have been higher, and then the Night Trooper at $10. So a lot of value in those minifigures compared to the retail price, but when we look on Camel 3X, it's been on sale a lot. So even compared to this new pretty much retail price at $44, the minifigures are great, but the extended time on sale makes me worry about it, and third-party sales have not bumped up against the Amazon price. And then lastly, on Amazon, not a lot of demand, only 600 in the last month at this 20% off. It is one that I'm watching because I think it could be flying under the radar a little bit, but I am going to be careful about it. The Icons Pac-Man Arcade, 1.4 enthusiasm score, but another one we just found out is no longer on the retirement list for 2025. Harry Potter Triwizard Tournament, The Arrival. You guys know I love this set, and I still think it's flying under the radar. 4.3 on Brickset, $140, 1229 pieces. Not terrible in price to part and value. 5 minifigures. They are exclusive, but Harry Potter minifigures don't matter nearly as much because there are not nearly as many characters in the Harry Potter universe as there are in the Star Wars universe or the superheroes universe. But this is a boat with great cloth sails and a 2.5 enthusiasm score. I think we'll find this one on discount discount at Target. And when that happens right before the end of the year, I will be picking some up. The small yellow Land Rover Classic Defender, one more mention in the last couple of months, 2.3 enthusiasm score, 4 mentions total. Nice $15 set. I really like it. I think it'll do well like other Speed Champions sets. And remember, those Speed Champions are up to $28 retail price. And locally on Facebook Marketplace, I continue to do well with those. I'm pretty much getting 100% ROI in a year and a half or two. Ninjago City Markets is a Lego exclusive. 2 more mentions, up to 4, a 2.3 enthusiasm score. Awesome set. It is $370, so very expensive in this Ninjago City line. But if it does retire at the end of this year, relatively short, 2.5 year shelf life for such a large set. When this originally came out, because of how bulky the gondola is here, there was some not so great feelings about it, but I think this set has grown on most of us over time. I do like it. I want one for personal collection, and I think it will perform pretty strongly. The most recent one that retired, and to me is the best of the 4, and I know there's a 5th one, but so far that one doesn't count to me because it's so ugly. But this Ninjago City Gardens, awesome set, retailed for $350. Brick set is showing $314, but on eBay, $375 with 25 shipping, so that's $400 all in. Here's $405 with shipping, $390, so it's starting to creep up. And if we go to Camel 3X and look at the Amazon prices, this is what we want to see, a nice upward trend. Third-party sales, $400 on Amazon, but it's been as high as $450. Since City Gardens just retired at the end of 24, I think this will trend upward for at least another year or so. And because of that, I think this one will do the same. Now onto the large brick-built sand green Land Rover Classic Defender. Not my kind of set, definitely a pass. 4 mentions, E-score of 2. If we look at the other large Icons vehicles, even though I personally like many of them, and I think some of them will do well after a very long hold time, which means it's probably not a great investment, I still don't think this over-stylized, non-sports car, non-muscle car Land Rover is going to do well. Lamborghini Countach is awesome. It goes with the Speed Champion set. The Corvette that just retired at the end of last year retailed for $150, showing $125. Remember, we were able to get this set for less than $100, so that's okay. The Vespa is ugly. I love the Chevy Camaro. Retailed for $170, and it's only $121 so far. The pickup truck that retired at the end of 23 retailed for $130. It's $123. The Porsche 911 is still out. Those Fiats are ugly. The Ford Mustang is awesome, but retired almost 2 years ago, $170 to $131. The Harley Fatboy has increased in value, but I think it's the only motorcycle, at least in a long time, so that makes sense. And then this full of action features that I do own and I love it, James Bond DB5 has increased a little bit of value, but the rest of these not doing so well, other than of course the Ferrari F40 from a long time ago. My dad has one of these unopened, super cool. Iron Man MK5 Brickheads, uninspiring, I'll be passing on it. Joy, Sadness, and Anxiety, one more mention, down to a 2.0 enthusiasm score. I hear the movie's really good. I think my kids saw it and liked it, so maybe this one could be flying under the radar a little bit, but I think I'll probably be passing on it, even though I do like a lot of the Brickheads. The huge Technic Libre Crawler Crane LR 13,000, amazing set, $700. If it does retire at the end of this year, less than a 2.5 year shelf life. I think that's crazy for such a large set. Only a 3.8 on Brick. I think it's because of the price. No mentions recently, so just 4 total with a 2.0 E-score. I do think there's some potential here, but I'm going to be careful. It's such a high price point. I hope it goes on sale sometime. But check out other similar large Technic sets. You got the Cap Bulldozer that retired at the end of 2021, retailed for $500, $513. Not great, but the Libre R 9800 that retired at the end of 21, retailed for $450, $662. Here's one not doing so well that retired at the end of 2020, retailed for $300, down to $273. But this bucket wheel excavator from 2018, $280 to $430. The Volvo wheel loader from 2016, $250 to $328. I definitely think this one's going to go up some. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs Cottage, I've talked about it a lot, not for me. 4 mentions, E-score of 2.0. On Camel 3X, it has not seen a discount from Amazon, but third-party sellers have had to go below the $220 retail price. And we just had the live action Snow White released, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 39%, and on IMDb, it is a 1.7 out of 10. So if this set is going to perform well, it's going to have to do so in spite of all of the current pop culture buzz on it. Well, I guess anti-buzz right now. Simba, the Lion King Cub, you guys know I like this one, and unfortunately, no longer retiring at the end of the year, so now we gotta watch it later, and maybe it will have too long of a shelf life now. The City Lifeguard Truck, it's a $25 set, great build. I can see why there'd be some mentions, and yeah, I understand the low enthusiasm score for a City set. I tried to find some comparables. I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I don't think think there's anything out there that is indicating that this would perform well, but the build here I think stands out compared to many others. Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon battle from Mandalorian. It does have the Mandalorian strike against it, but I am gonna watch this one. $40 is quite expensive, but 4 really good minifigures, and because of the low buzz and demand, it has been on sale and it will be on sale a lot more. 3 more mentions up to 4, but a 1.0 enthusiasm score. But if we go to Camel 3X, third-party sales have popped above retail every now and then, and I do wonder, is it possible that it could perform like this one? Now remember, this Armor's Mandalorian Forge was a Target exclusive, retailed for $30, showing $45 on Brickset, and the Paz Vizsla Moff Gideon battle set is not a store exclusive. We have to keep that in mind, but the reason I'm comparing the two is because this scene and setting was one of the best in Mandalorian, and if we look back at this set, this is one of the best scenes at the end of Mandalorian. And did I mention the minifigures? They are awesome. Moff Gideon, Paz Vizsla, the Praetorians, and it's always nice to be reminded of Breaking Bad every now and then. 43240, Maleficent's Dragon Form and Aurora's Castle. 2 more mentions, 1.0 enthusiasm score. Every now and then somebody says maybe this dragon will do something. I'm passing on it, but maybe it's flying so far on the radar there will be no supply on the secondary market. Now down to sets with 3 mentions. This one has a 2.3 enthusiasm score. The Ninjago Source Dragon of Motion. This is a huge set. I've seen it built. Good dragon. On Camel 3X, there isn't a lot here, but it did bump during the holidays above the retail price. It's never been on sale from the very expensive $150, but again, you're getting a lot for that price. And it's over 1,700 pieces, 4.7 on Brickset. That is very telling. And if we look at previous Ninjago dragons, they have a history of generally doing well. Lloyd's Golden Ultra Dragon retailed for $150, shown $185 on Brickset. I was super wrong on this set. I thought it was too washed out and way too much gold. I didn't like the 3 heads, and I was down on this set when it was available, and oops, my mistake. The Epic Dragon Battle that retired in 2013, 120 up to 301. Now Zane's Ice Dragon creature that retired at the end of 24, 100 down to 79. Maybe this is the one that's too washed out. The Ultra Dragon from 2020, 85 to 166. Skull Sorcerer's Dragon from 21. I don't remember this one being that popular, 80 to 103. Therefore, I am definitely keeping an eye on this one. Minecraft, the Ender Dragon and End Ship, 1 more mention, but it dropped down to a 2.0 enthusiasm score. These Minecraft sets are so interesting because they're so plain and blocky, which I understand is the style, but I've heard buzz around, ooh, we got another Ender Dragon, but it looks so plain and boring. I feel like anybody could build something so similar. Yet if we look at previous Ender Dragon sets, like this one from 2014, retailed for 70 up to 142. Now I do realize it has the specialized wings. It's not plate and brick built wings. And then the End Battle with a brick built set of wings from 2021, retailed for 20 and is up to $33. With the movie that came out recently, maybe this one has a chance, but I do worry that the ship is too much of the build and drowns out the dragon some. Brickhead's Potted Groot, definitely a pass. I don't like that one. Too much Groot recently. Aston Martin Vantage Safety Car and AMR 23. Speed Champions 2-pack. I like it a lot. $45. Yeah, it's a pain, but both good builds. And the reason I really like it is because with Lego coming out with these 10 new F1s, you gotta have a safety car to be leading the paddock there and keeping all these drivers under control. I will own all these in personal collection. I've built 2 of them so far. They are so good. Scrolling down on the table, Spider-Man Final Battle, 1 more mention, up to 3, 1.7 enthusiasm score. The best of these types of sets, but still not great. Probably a pass unless huge discount. Hagrid's Hut, An Unexpected Visit, same metrics, way too many Hagrid's Huts, so I'm passing on that one. Shadow the Hedgehog, this is a Target exclusive, also with these same metrics of 3 mentions and a 1.7 enthusiasm score. I am now convinced this one is flying under the radar. If it's a one and done, then I think we'd be in trouble, but if they do 1 or 2 more of these Sonic heads on sticks, which I've gotten over, I'm a little bit more used to it now, and I actually think the set looks pretty decent, then this one could be a real sleeper. Alpine Lodge from the Winter Village collection, I pass on all of these. Daffodils, 2nd edition. 1st edition is doing okay, and all of these flowers and botanical sets continue to be very, very high in demand. Superman Mech versus Lex Luthor, $15. If I find it on heavy discount, I would pick it up from the shelves. Hogwarts Castle Dueling Club, easy pass. By the way, all these have 1.3 enthusiasm score. And then the BMW 2-pack, it's good, but not great for a Speed Champion set, even though I do like getting BMWs. Santa's Post Office, another pass for me. Baby Pig's Birthday Celebration with the brick-built Minecraft figures, absolute wild card set, short shelf life if it retires at the end of this year. So I will watch it, but most likely I'm passing passing. Mos Espa Padres diorama, terrible diorama set. These huge prices on the dioramas are crazy, and now that we've seen how the first wave and second wave dioramas have done, these prices are even more laughable because these are just not selling that well. Bunny's outdoor activities from Minecraft, a low 1.0 enthusiasm score, but nice adorable set. If my kids were younger and into Animal Crossing, I'm sure we'd be getting some of these. The minifigures are awesome. But back to doing my Google Trends analysis. This time the blue is Animal Crossing, and like always, the dark red is Star Wars, and woo, the Animal Crossing buzz is way low. On Camel 3X, it doesn't look too good. Architecture Skyline Paris, one more mention, up to 2 and a 2.5 enthusiasm score. I like the New York City Skyline set better. I think the demand is higher on that one, but this is a good one too. These long shelf lives for these Skyline sets just tells us how much in demand they are. The small Vespa is too small and ugly for me. The city construction excavator, I love it. Many city construction sets have done decent. The Ninjago Egalt, the Master Dragon, 2 mentions, E-score 2.5. We just looked at all of the Ninjago dragons. This one's kind of cool. I think there's a little bit of a chance here. It's $70. It's more sizable than it looks in the picture. The Durr Burger, we talked about Fortnite. Minecraft, the Frog House. I don't like all the brown. The shaping doesn't work for me, so that one I'm passing on. The crafting table, I had this in my power rankings video from a month or so ago, and then somebody put a good comment on it saying, hey, this one has been on discount at either Costco or BJ's or one of those. And once that happens, it can really hurt the future growth potential of the set. Only 2 mentions with an E-score of 2. On Camel 3X, it is showing some life above the retail price, but a very short period of time. So, maybe a little something there. And then looking at Google Trends though, blue is Minecraft this time, and then Star Wars again is the red. So Minecraft still remains extremely popular. So I'm going to watch it. It won't be in my top 10 going forward, but I still think there is some potential because it is so unique. Technic John Deere Forge Harvester, awesome set. But if we look at the 2 that already retired, not doing great. The large skidder retail for 200, 146. I did pick up a couple of these, I think around 125. I'm going to give them a couple more years. And then the small tractor retailed for 35. Tons of buzz around it. So far, 26 on brick set. I still think this one's okay, just a longer hold time. The Avengers Helicarrier, too small, too flimsy, too expensive, and pretty ugly. The Mandrake, highlighted light yellow because it is now retiring at the end of this year. So this one changed in the good direction. So it was looking at 2026, now looking at 2025. This one could be flying under the radar. $70 is way too much, but maybe we'll be able to find it for $40 at Target at some point. Baby Bumpy Ankylosaurus, I have to give Brian at Brick Domain credit because he does like these sets, and he pointed out that it is the 3rd in this small brick built dinosaur series. I don't have the other one up, but they are pretty adorable, so there could be a little collectability there. But my concern is when we go back to Google Trends, Jurassic Park in the blue is so low. Now I didn't put in Jurassic World. Let me do that. Okay, as I was expecting, the yellow line, which is Jurassic World, is tracking the blue line. So demand and buzz around Jurassic Park is pretty low these days. The large brick built Vespa, not for me. Minecraft Turtle Beach House, better than the Frog House, but still not for me. Highlighted light yellow because it moved forward to retire at the end of this year. Minecraft The Wolf Stronghold, that one's kind of cool. I could see some interest with this one because of the minifigure, the nice wolf build, and the wolf figures. Mighty Dinosaur has been out forever and one of the highest selling toys on Amazon month after month. Creator 3-in-1 Adorable Dogs, one more mention, 1.5 enthusiasm score. I like this one. I think it's flying under the radar. $30 seems like a pretty good deal. Remember, the alternate builds are so different that I could see people wanting 3 of this set so they could get all, 7 different dogs. And keep in mind, the exotic pink parrot, I know it was a Target exclusive, but it's up to $24 from a retail of $20, and it went on sale for $12. If this one goes on sale for $17 to $20, I'd pick up a few. The Lego exclusive money tree from the Chinese traditional festival seasonal theme, passed for me, but it looks kind of cool. Captain America and Red Hulk brickheads, passing on those. The Technic pullback Mercedes, passing on this one. Passing on the City Jungle Explorer, I forgot to bring a picture up. No go for me on the soapbox cars. Passing on the Batman mech. And then 4 Harry Potter sets, I kind of like Dobby. I think the face and the build overall looks pretty good. Again, with all these Harry Potter sets, if they do hit that big discount like a lot of them did at the end of last year at Target, then I will pick them up. Here's the Harry Potter boathouse. Buckbeak, not my favorite. And then the potions class, I'm passing on that one. We've had a lot of classrooms. A bunch of sets with 2 mentions and an E-score of 1. I'm passing on most of these. The Creator Red Dragon, Red Panda May brick Brickheads. Fire Rescue Plane, this one I do like from the City line. This is a really, really good plane build. The latest Batmobile, and I just don't know about this one. A lot of people don't like it, which makes me think that maybe it could do okay. It's low supply on the secondary market. If we look at recent Batmobiles, we're getting all kinds of variety. The Batman Forever Batmobile just got announced. Really weird, but looks kind of cool. The larger classic TV series Batmobile, kind of cool. And then you've got this one that just retired, hasn't grown in value much. It was way overpriced, but still, there's a lot of variety with these Batmobiles as I continue to scroll down. And of course, you throw the tumblers in there also. And since some of the appeal with the Batmobiles is how different they are for different movies and different series and different eras, maybe this one will need to be included in everybody's collection, even though it isn't their favorite build. And so I do want to watch it, and I'll decide at some point if I think the supply could be too low after it retires. Spider-Man versus Sandman, final battle. Hogwarts Castle Hourly. The NASCAR Next Gen Chevy Camaro in Speed Champions form. This one is highlighted the light yellow because it is now retiring at the end of this year. Awesome, awesome set. You can't get better than this one. Love all the color, love the design, but as you guys know, I am totally biased because I am a huge NASCAR fan. Oh, I love that NASCAR Cup Series sticker right there. I want a bunch of those. So cool. The Chevy prints on the sidewalls. I know it's not going to do well for the most part, but I still want a bunch of these. And again, I know that I'm totally biased. A Sonic action playset. You guys know I don't invest in any of the action playsets. And then the second set from the seasonal Chinese traditional festival theme is the Good Fortune. Really beautiful set, but I'll be passing on it. And now we're down to all the sets with one mention. I'm not going to even talk about most of these, but I'll highlight a few. Andrea's Modern Mansion from the Friends line. It is a Lego exclusive, super cool build, but it's $200. And if we sort Friends sets by retail price from highest to lowest, this is the most expensive set, which means that Lego Friends consumers are not used to paying $300 or $400 for a set. And the other previous expensive sets have not done great on the secondary market. Here's this one for $160 down to $108. Here's the Downtown Flower and Design Stores, $160, $127. I did get two of these at 50% off, so I'm excited about those. But yeah, we can just keep scrolling and see that these values are not going super high. So because of that, although this is a great set, I worry that the Friends consumer market is not going to be paying $300 or $400. Keep going down the list here, and I do want to get to the Revenge of the Sith Heroes and Villains 5-pack Brickheads. This one's highlighted yellow just because when it first came out, we all assumed it was going to retire at the end of this year, but it wasn't official. It was recently made official, $50. I like it. I'm not a Brickheads builder or collector, but I do see the appeal here. Of course, Grievous is awesome. Palpatine is pretty good. But if we look at the previous couple, we've got the Phantom Menace that retired at the end of 24, 55 down to 47, and then the Battle of Endor Heroes that I have 19 of, $40 down to 37. Not too bad. I did buy all 19 of these at 40% off, so a little bit going on there. But there is hope, because if you go to eBay and look at when they are sold as single figures, and if you part them out and put in the extra time, you can do better than the $37 on the Battle of Endor Heroes. Here's Princess Leia only at $18 with shipping on top. Here's Wicket at $20 with shipping. Another Princess Leia. R2-D2 at $17 with shipping. Skywalker at $18 with shipping on top. So because of that, if this one does go 40% off right at the end of the year, I will pick up a few, but I won't be picking up 19. The mobile construction crane. This one was in my top 10 power rankings video recently. King Boo's Haunted Mansion. I know I said I don't invest in the action play sets, but this is such a cool build. I bet it's flying under the radar. I bet you were able to find it for $55 sometime, and I think this one does grow in value. Read the table as we go if you would like. I'm going to go to Ollivanders and Madame Malkin's Robes. This is the second or third, I think second, in this new sub-theme that they're doing where all of these main Harry Potter buildings connect up. They did Weasley Wizard Wheezes last year. Yeah, that's right here. Retailed for $90, showing $111 on brick set, so this was a great investment. But on Camel 3X, the Ollivanders set has not been on sale, but third-party sales are below retail. Whereas if we look at Weasley Wizard Wheezes, it was a Target exclusive, so there were no primary sales on Amazon, but it jumped up quickly and it's still going up a little bit because this one is not a store exclusive and everybody now sees that the first one did really well. I'm worried this one's going to be flooded on the secondary market. I'm generally going to be passing on it. The Creator 3-in-1 Cozy House. One mention, E-score of 2. I've heard a lot of people talk about this set very positively and it's flying under the radar. If it ends up working out for them, great for them, but I am not going to bite. I think it's kind of ugly ugly and choppy. Yes, we do need more plain suburban houses for our Lego cities, but when I look at other Creator 3-in-1 houses, like the Hillside house from 2012, it looks so much better. It's not all chopped up, looks a little more complete, not so busy. I would much prefer this one in my city. Same thing with this nice family house from 2014. I know they're a little more plain, but they just look so much better. Whereas I worry that this cozy house looks more like this modern family villa. They're retailed for $70 and is at $58. But then you go to the family home from 2010, retailed for $60 and it's $126 again, because this looks nice and clean. So I am passing on the cozy house. Now let's look at the Blacktron Renegade, highlighted yellow because it got pulled forward to retire the energy, or a short 1-year shelf life. I'd be surprised if that sticks, but if it does, I understand. This is ugly. I realize that it is very true to the Blacktron era, but the Blacktron era is not nostalgic for the vast majority of Lego fans like other classic space is. So I get what Lego is doing here, but I would never want this one in personal collection, and I'm not investing in it. And then the last one to look at is this X-Men X-Jet here on the table towards the bottom. Only one mention, an E-score of 1. That's because it is $85 for 389 pieces. Have we ever seen a 23.7 price to part ratio on just a standard minifigure playset? I don't think so. I'm sure we have. I'm not talking the 4+ sets, but just a standard set. It's insane. Outside of that, super cool set. Nice minifigures, nice build. I want this for personal collection. I'm hoping to find it for like $40 sometime. I know that's unrealistic. All right, time to wrap up with my top 3. In third place, I'm going with this Aston Martin Racing Speed Champions 2-pack. You gotta have the pace car, the safety car, I know. Pace car and NASCAR, but you gotta have that to go with all of the F1 cars. My second place set is the Target exclusive Shadow the Hedgehog. High risk, high reward, but if they come out with a couple more of these and the buzz stays down and the fact that it's a Target exclusive, some real potential here. Look how few people own this set. I mean, the demand is so low, but the supply might be so low on the secondary market. And then my number 1 set from this video is going to be the mobile construction crane. I had it in my power rankings video. I still like it. $110 for all of this seems great for a city set. We'll be able to get it on sale. Huge fan. And before I wrap up, I do want to do one honorable mention. I know I'm breaking my own rules here. I wouldn't even know where to begin to rank this set because of the $700 price point, but it's just awesome. If I could ever get one of these in my own collection, I'm an engineer, and so it would be so cool to have one of these at work. It'd be massive, so that'd be great. All right, that's a wrap. Thanks a lot for watching. My next video will be the not top sets from the last couple of months of data, so I will see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget, my videos are for entertainment purposes only. I do not provide financial advice. You got to get that from somebody else.